Let's have a quick conversation about the $350,000 Santander Bank Business Line of Credit. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you are to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the $350,000 Santander Bank Business Line of Credit. One thing you need to understand first is that let's dig into the uses of this money. This is a great choice for short-term working capital financing needs. Let me repeat that. Short-term. So maximum duration here, 18 months. If you're looking for a long-term financing, long-term business financing, Santander has other products that you might be interested in. But for the line of credit, you want to use it for short-term financing needs. What are the potential uses here? You can use it to finance accounts receivable. You can use it to purchase inventory. Or you can use the money to take care of seasonal cash flow fluctuations. So we've seen, based on our research, that businesses that are subject to cyclicality or seasonality will find Santander Bank Business Line of Credit very interesting. And there are two things you need to know before applying for this business line of credit. There are two fees. So you have a $250 origination fee, and then you have a $250 annual fee that is charged on the anniversary of opening the line of credit. The origination fee is a one-time fee, but the cool thing here is that this fee can be waived when you open a business DDA account with Santander Bank. I will speak about that later on. And so for approved business applicants, Santander Bank will waive the one-time origination fee of $250 on a new business line of credit between $10,000 and $350,000. If the approved applicant either has or opens at the time of the block closing a Santander Business Checking or Santander Business Checking Plus account. So that's the bottom line. And one thing I also want to say here is that before you apply for this line of credit, please make sure that your financial statements are accurate, because Santander Bank will actually they will dig into your financials. They'll pay attention to your income statements. They'll pay attention to your statement of cash flows. They'll pay attention to your to your balance sheet. Those three primary financial statements are very important. In some cases, if you are looking for a larger line of credit, they will pay attention to your statements, your company statements of owner's equity. Let's talk about details. Let me just I want to break it down for you here. So when we speak about this $350,000 Santander Bank Business Line of Credit, we are speaking about what? Revolving lines for amount starting at 10 grand. So the minimum, the floor here is $10,000 and the maximum $350,000. And the thing is, the renewal occur once a year for lines of credit no greater than $350,000. And if you want to go between, if you want a business line of credit between $100,000 and $350,000, then you need to provide some kind of collateralization. In other words, you have unsecured lines up to $100,000. But once you go above that, you're going to have to collateralize the line of credit either with company assets. This could be accounts receivable, inventory, equipment, you name it, or with personal assets. You might be required, the bank might request that you sign a personal guarantee. Bottom line here is that if you want a higher amount, be prepared to post some kind of collateral. And this line of credit has a lot of benefits. Based on our research, you have three main benefits. You have control, because you make the payments you need and only pay interest on the amount of credit you use, okay? And you have a peace of mind knowing that the funds are available whenever you need them. This is why you want to link the business line of credit with your Santander Business Checking, or Santander Business Checking Plus account. And the third thing we love with this $350,000 Santander Bank business line of credit is that you have convenience. You can access your funds quickly with checks or transfers. All right. And one thing that's very important, we have seen this, is again, going back to what I said earlier about your financial statements, Santander pays attention to your gross margins. So your sales, your gross sales minus your cost of goods sold. What kind of profit margin at the gross level are you generating every quarter, every month? Because this is a good criterion for the bank to know whether or not your business is, I would say, healthy. Your business, the balance sheet is not lethargic. The balance sheet is dynamic. So you want to pay attention to those things. Let's talk about eligibility, folks. Again, in today's conversation, I am talking to you about this $350,000 Santander Bank business line of credit. Let's talk about eligibility. Is the business line of credit right for your business? First, you must be in business for 2 years or more if you want to qualify. Big decision time. Is your business less than 2 years old or more than 2 years old? Talk to me. Because if your business is younger than 2 years old, younger than 2 years, you're going to have to apply with an SBA guarantee. In other words, the government of the United States, through the Small Business Administration, will have to guarantee a loan. And that just will make the whole process more convoluted and more complicated. But yeah, there is a path. There is a path for approval if you do not meet the 2-year operational history that Santander Bank wants you to have. And the thing here is that in terms of eligibility, you also you can be a Santander business client. It is preferred, but not mandatory. Again, they're not going to force you to open an account with them. But as we have said on this show several times, your relationship with the bank, any bank for that matter, must be what? Symbiotic, must be harmonious, must be a win-win. So you give your money, you bring the money, they give you money, right? So it's better to open a Santander Bank business checking or checking plus account. One thing you also need to think about in terms of eligibility here is that you got to have a legit business. So we're speaking about what? We're speaking about EIN, having an EIN. You can get the business line of credit with while being a sole proprietorship, but this is not really the best option. If you want to get access to larger funding, you want to open a legit business, you want to incorporate, you can either be an LLC, an LP, you can be an S Corp, a C Corp. You really want to segregate your personal affairs from your business affairs, okay? And there is no business credit score requirements that Santander Bank has. They have no personal credit score requirement either. They really pay attention to your business financials. They pay attention to your working capital. They pay attention to your gross margins and all other types of business metrics. Let's talk about other loans. Folks, in today's conversation, I'm still talking to you about a massive line of credit, business line of credit from Santander. $350,000. That's the maximum limit. Minimum limit, 10 grand. All right. But there are other loans that the Santander Bank has, and it might be worth your time to take a look, right? Because listen, if you don't qualify for the business line of credit, who knows? You might qualify for the business loan. So we have actually seen 3 very popular business loans that Santander has. First, you have the business term loan. So this is for financing that needs if you want a longer duration here, you can use the money to acquire fixed assets. You can refinance non-Santander bank with non-Santander debts with fixed monthly payments. And the minimum amount to borrow is 10 grand. And here the maturity ranges from 3 years to 7 years, and you have fixed interest rate. And in terms of the maximum amount, it goes all the way to 350. And if you want larger amount, you're going to have to collateralize partially or fully the loan. And so besides the business term loan, you have the Santander business owner-occupied commercial real estate mortgages. And with this kind of money here, you can purchase, renovate, or refinance owner-occupied commercial real estate. So the question is, if you are a startup, or let's say you are an established business and you need some cash to really take care of your commercial real estate transactions, Santander could be a good lender. Of course, it's going back to what I said earlier. It's better if you have a banking relationship with them. Okay, you can use the money to acquire commercial real estate, improve or expand existing building, or refinance non-Santander existing real estate debt. And the minimum amount to borrow is 25 grand up to 25 years. And you can finance up to 80% of the lesser of the purchase price or appraised value. The third funding program that is available is the business equipment financing program. Quick decision time. Are you currently looking to finance equipment and vehicles in your business? If yes, then Santander could be a great opportunity, could be a great lender to look to pay attention to, because with the cash that you can use the money to acquire vehicles or equipment. Some of the qualifying vehicles and equipment include medical, construction, and agricultural. And you can borrow as low as $50,000 and as high as $1 million. And the maturity, 3 years to 10 years. This is really good. And available 100% financing of cost, including taxes, freight, installation, software, warranties, and training. Wonderful. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about the Santander business line of credit. I'm talking to you about a massive business line of credit we have here. $350,000, that's the maximum. Minimum, $10,000. I was talking to you earlier about having a relationship with Santander. Let's talk about Santander banking. If you want to get this business line of credit, you want to boost your chances of getting the line of credit. It's better to open to have a relationship, what we call MPR, a multi-product relationship with Santander. So you can see on the screen that they have checking accounts, business checking accounts, right? So they have a basic business checking, and business checking plus. As I was telling you earlier, if you want Santander to waive the $250 origination fee on this business line of credit, you need to actually have a business checking plus account. As you can see on the screen that this is their top business account that comes with a constellation of benefits. Okay, and so the bank also has some requirements for opening a checking account. And this is something they have revamped recently. So here are the new requirements for opening a business checking account. So you need legal documentation for your business with business tax ID, aka EIN. Remember, big decision time. Do you currently have an EIN? Do you? If you don't, right now you want to go to the IRS's website and apply for an EIN, an employer identification number. When you hear the terms business tax ID and EIN, they are interchangeable. They mean the same thing. So you're going to have to put your EIN, your business address, the date your business was established. And if your business information does not match your legal documentation, you will need the first page of another bank statement, utility bill, or a current lease agreement. So this is for the business information. And if you want to, let's say, you want to apply for a larger line amount or loan amount, there is some information that is required at the individual/owner level. So they might need, so the following information for all owners of the business and any individual with significant responsibility. I mean, the president, the CFO, the managing partner. So they want to have your name, date of birth, home address, and social, and as well as photo ID. And one thing I want to say here is that besides checking accounts, you also, Santander also has savings accounts. They have the business money market savings accounts. Okay, and they also have merchant services. And this is actually a partnership between Santander and Clover. Let's talk about the evidence needed. Folks, I'm still having a convo with you about a massive business line of credit from Santander. Maximum loan amount $350,000, minimum 10 grand. And what is the evidence needed? If you want to qualify right off the bat for this business line of credit, there are a few things you need to do. First of all, they will ask you a few questions about the line of credit itself. Why are you applying for this line of credit? How would the money be used, right? What we call the use of loan proceeds or use of line proceeds. What assets need to be purchased and who are your suppliers? Those are standard questions that they ask. What other business debt do you have and who are your creditors? So Santander is paying attention to your DTI, to your debt to income ratio. They're also paying attention to your financial health in general, your company's financial health in general. This is why I was just talking to you earlier. I said, listen, they will ask you about your financial statements. They'll ask for your balance sheet. They'll ask for your statement of cash flows, your statement of owner's equity, and they'll ask for your P&L, your profit and loss statements. Okay. And they'll ask about members of your management team, personal background. You want to have a bio of each leader or each owner of the company, right? You want to have, and this is one thing that we have seen also in the last few years, the Santander Bank started paying attention to business plans. Every business must have a business plan, whether we're speaking about a startup or an established concern. You need to have a business plan, because a business plan is some kind of it's kind of similar to a GPS. It is a navigational tool that allows you to know where you've been in the last few years or few months and where you intend to be. Okay, so a business plan is very important. This could actually boost your chances of being approved for this Santander Bank business line of credit. You also want to think about your income tax returns. They might ask income tax returns at the business level. So that means your 1065 or your 1120S or C, depending upon the company's legal structure. Okay. And in some cases, they might ask for your income tax returns at the personal level, specifically your Schedule C. This is because if you don't have an EIN or you don't want to apply on an EIN basis, then Santander will actually check your personal credit. Let's talk about the application tips here. To apply for this business line of credit, folks, the line of credit is massive. We are speaking $350,000. That's the maximum, minimum 10 grand. You have several ways of applying, right? You can apply via email. You can apply via fax, online, phone, mail-in if you receive an offer from them. But it's just better to visit a branch. It's just a lot better. They want you to, they want to see you. They want to sit with you. You want to talk to a loan rep. They can study your business, all that kind of stuff. It's important to understand that if you want to, let's say, boost your chances of approval, please keep your documents in order. Are your documents in order right now? Let me ask you a question. Decision time here. Are your documents in order? When I mean documents, I'm talking about your financial statements, your tax returns, all the legal documents in your business, the business permits and licenses, lease agreements, franchise agreement, commercial leases, whatever, your articles of incorporation, the copies of contracts you have with any third parties. You need to keep all those documents in order. You can keep them electronically, or you can keep them physically. This could be somewhere in your house or in your company, or you can save them on a USB drive or on the cloud, whatever it is. Please keep those documents in order. You also want to think about your cash flows. Santander is giving you a business line of credit, right? They're trying to help you finance your short-term operational activities, but they want to make sure that in the long run, your business is generating enough cash flow to cover to repay the line of credit. Remember, it is a line of credit. In other words, it is a credit product. And remember also is that Santander loves when they love relationships. They love when you speak to a loan rep. You want to maintain their relationship. It's not Santander is not like, you just get the loan and you disappear. No, you want to maintain contact with your loan rep because he or she might help you get more or increase your line. Let's say they just approved you originally for $100,000. By maintaining a constant flow of I would say information or conversations with your loan rep, you might get your line increased to 200 grand or 300 grand for that matter. So this is very important. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about Santander business line of credit, and we were speaking about a maximum line amount of $350,000. I spoke to you about the uses, the details, the eligibility, other loans, Santander banking, the evidence needed, and the application process. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.